All right, so this is Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. And this guy reminds me of kind of like the PBD podcast type person where it's just a money guy. Like he's super rich. He does rich guy things. I don't know what his origin story is, but the point is he is explaining why this whole Trump case in New York is garbage, because it is. So listen to this. He went on CNN, and this explains how like a rational, non-super political person can just break this down and tell you that it's stupid. This is a total con job witch hunt that they're doing to President Trump. There you go.
You've been doing real estate for decades. Does this case strike you as odd?
Well, let's leave out Trump for a minute and let's leave out politics and just talk about what happens in real estate development anywhere. So if you're a developer and you've got a building on a block anywhere in America and it's worth, let's say, $500 million and you want to build a building right beside it, you go to the bank and say, this building is worth $500 million. I'd like to borrow a construction finance loan against this asset, and I want you to tell me it's worth $500 million too. And the bank negotiates with you and says, well, no, we think it's worth $400 million. And you fight it out. You're always trying to show your assets in the brightest light with the sunshine you could possibly determine for them. You want them to be worth the very most, because you're only going to get a 40 or 50% loan to value, as it's called. Then you borrow that money. In the case of a $500 million asset, maybe you get $250 million, and you build a new building with a construction finance loan. And so that's what this case is all about. And by the way, forget about Trump. Every single real estate developer everywhere on earth does this. They always talk about their asset being worth a lot, and the bank says no. And that's just the way it is. So in this case, when I'm trying to figure out, and I'm not pro or con, or I don't care about the politics, who lost money? Nobody. The bank got paid back the construction finance loan, and a new building was built. And if you're going to sue this case and win, you got to sue every real estate developer everywhere. This is all they do. This is what they do all day long, every day. So I don't think this thing will ever survive appeal, regardless of what the fine is. This doesn't even make sense. Now, look, I know Trump's got a lot of problems in other indictments and everything else, but this, if you're a real estate developer, you're watching this, you're saying, what is this? This is ridiculous.
Okay, yeah, I saw that, and I was just like, that is exactly correct. I mean, I even try to do that on a tiny scale, Just look, like if you own a home, you can take out a second mortgage on the value of your home. Like they look at like your income to debt ratio. They look at how much you owe on the house versus how much the house is worth. They appraise it. And then you can get a percentage in a loan in between those values. So if it's a $500,000 house and you've paid $300,000 towards it. So now there's $200,000 that you owe and it's worth $500,000. So that means that there's $300,000 in between those two numbers. I hope you can follow that. I'm trying. The bank, if they agree the house is worth $500,000, then they will see that middle equity of $300,000 between what you owe left and what it's worth. And then that is what you can borrow a loan off of. But it's only a percentage of that. Like he said, it's like 40 or 50% of that pretty easily. So if you're a developer, you have a building or something of giant asset, you say it's worth, take whatever you think it's worth and add 10% because you're going to haggle. And then they come in, they send people in to check, is it worth that? Is it okay? And they say yes or no. They could say no, but they didn't say no to Trump. They said yes. They gave him the loan. He built the building. He paid them back. They got their interest. Everyone was happy. And this is a fraudulent case, period. All right, I feel better now. I feel a lot better. Boom. Puddle said, did I miss a lot? No. Tagnar said, we are here for the rant. Good, because that would be really awkward if you guys hated the rants. I'd be like, man, like you can find this news elsewhere, but I like to aggregate it the best I can and then try to share it with you, because this stuff just doesn't make sense. As he was saying, he's like, I'm not political. I don't care one way or the other. And I know Trump has other things going on, but this one is stupid. It doesn't make sense.